four noble force for complete education. From time immemorial, education has been given a very important place not only in our country but also everywhere. Education is said to be of two kinds, para and apara. Para may be defined as extra mundane, transcendental, while the opposite, that is apara, is mundane, pertaining to the world. The scriptures enjoin that both are equally worthy of acquisition. Paravidya is said to lead to the realization of Atman, while Aparavidya can enable one to acquire knowledge of the physical world. Our culture went to the extent of saying that man with no education is a beast. Vidya vihinaha pasuhu. Education, a four-pillared edifice. The entire education system is a four-pillared edifice of which parent, student, teacher and the government constitute the pillars. The system becomes effective provided all the four pillars are strong. It is a collective responsibility. Parent. The role of parent is very important in providing education. So, they should always try to educate their children in the best possible way. Our ancient treatise, Panchatantra, emphatically says that the mother is a foe and the father is an enemy by whom children are not educated. Mata Shatruhu Pita Vairi Ena Balo Napatitaha Nasobhate Sabha Madhye Hamsa Madhye Bako Yatha. The have been Upanishads have given higher place to parents among teachers by saying Matruman, Pitruman, Acharyavan Purusho Veda, which means that one will attain knowledge through mother, father and guru. In this modern age, unfortunately, parents are so busy that they are not able to spend even the minimum required time with their children. In some cases, parents admit their wants even without considering the likes and dislikes of them. Most of the parents are of the opinion that admitting their children in schools is the end of their responsibility. But it is not the end, but a beginning only. They should take proper care for integral development of their children before and after schooling. Students. The students play a key role in education. They always try to acquire knowledge to the best of their ability. In addition to the study of prescribed syllabus, they should participate in curricular, co-curricular and extracurricular activities. It is observed that the standards of education have terribly fallen down. Of all the reasons of downfall, learning by rote without any thought for the meaning is said to be the main. Here, the students are expected to know the meaning of what they study. Most of the students are scoring marks by mere rote. Veda, while severely criticizing the person who recites Veda by rote, appreciates him who studies and gets by heart with the knowledge of it. Utatvah pasyan nadadarsya vachyam utatvah srunavan nasrunotyenam utotvasmai tanvam visasre jayeva pachuhu usati suvasa. He who sees not, even though he is seeing, listens not, even though he is listening, but to him who studies with meaning, Saraswati unfolds herself without any reservation. So, one should read everything thoroughly. Therefore, instead of reading 100 books, it is initially better to read one book for 100 times. Instead of reading 100 pages, it is better to read one page for 100 times. And instead of reading 100 lines, it is better to read one line for 100 times. Because an ounce of intensive reading is better than a ton of extensive reading. And after the study of a particular topic, one must be in a position to explain it to a common man. Here, Albert Einstein states thus: you do not really understand something unless you can explain it to your grandmother. Regarding the techniques of acquiring knowledge, Kalidasa states that one gets knowledge by assiduously and systematically learning things right from the fundamentals, and the study must be continuous till the subject is mastered. And to acquire knowledge, there is no alternative except hard work and deep study. Teacher. Though teacher appears one among four pillars, he plays a vital role. He is said to be a teacher who practices good manners, acharati iti acharya, who teaches good behavior to his students, acharang grahayati iti acharya, and who goes on collecting material pertaining to knowledge, achinoti ardhan iti acharya. All these three qualities are integral in an ideal teacher. And a teacher becomes great not merely by possessing knowledge, but by expertly transmitting it. Regarding the teaching technique, Kalidasa says, the acquisition of knowledge is something and the transmission of the same to the other is another. A person who has both qualities in abundance is considered to be the best among teachers. Slishta kriya kasyachidatma samstha sankrantiranyasya visheshayukta yasyo bhayam sadhu sasajjananam dhuri pratishtha paitavyayeva Malavikagnimitham. And a teacher is always expected to have foresight, farsight as well as insight. Government. In Vedic age, education used to be imparted free of cost in Gurukulas, and the Gurukulas are patronized by the kings and the philanthropists. In Raghuvamsha, the author Kalidasa, while describing the administration of Dilipa, states that the king Dilipa was like father to the people as he was educating, protecting and maintaining them. Thus, he made the parents as mere agents of the birth of people. Prajanam vinayadhanat rakshanat bharanadapi sapita pitarastasam kevalam janmahetavah. It is also evident that in the days of yore in India, there were many universities such as Nalanda, Takshashila, Vikramasila, where higher education was imparted even to foreign students at no cost, irrespective of caste, creed, religion, sex and nationality. But unfortunately, in recent times, government is relinquishing the responsibility of providing funds for education in general and higher education in particular, treating it to be a wasteful investment. A father should not think of returns immediately after sending his boy for education, because the fruit of investing money on education will be attained only after the completion of education and not immediately. Similarly, the investment made on a particular generation can yield fruits in the next generation but not immediately. So, the government is expected to be liberal but not short-sighted in the allocation of funds for education. Four types of education. As already mentioned earlier, teacher is expected to be the main pillar of the edifice of education. So, it is his bounden duty and sublime obligation to set the things right. He should impart knowledge which develops an integral personality of the students and makes them strong physically, mentally, intellectually, and spiritually. The teacher alone can impart value based education and ethical conduct more effectively than others. Four sources of acquisition of knowledge. According to the Indian tradition, student receives one fourth of knowledge from his teacher, one fourth by using his intellect, one fourth from his classmates, and still one fourth through experience. आचार्यात् पादमादत्ते पादं शिष्यः स्वमेधया पादं सब्रह्मचारिभ्यः पादं कालक्रमेण च. So, a student is not expected to confine himself to the information he receives from his teacher. He should exercise his own intellect to analyze and discuss with classmates to improve it. And in course of time, he understands it comprehensively through experience. Regarding the mechanic of acquiring knowledge, Kalidasa suggests that one gets knowledge by assiduously and systematically learn things right from the fundamentals. He also suggests that the study must be continuous till the subject is mastered. Four phases of education. According to our Indian tradition, education has four phases. They are Adhiti, study, Bodha, teaching, Acharana, practicing the values of education, and Pracharana, propagation of education. Mere acquisition of knowledge is not of much use, so it should be distributed to others. Similarly, knowledge without morality is not only useless but also dangerous. Here, Bhartrhari, the greatest poet cum philosopher, states thus: Durjanaha parihartavyaha vijayalankrutopi san manina bhushita sarpaha kimasauna bhayankaraha. A man of bad character is to be abandoned even though he is educated. Is it not a serpent dangerous though it has a precious jewel on its head? If an educated person is immoral, he can do more harm than the other, as aptly pointed out by Oscar Wilde. Thus, society produces rogues, and education will make one rogue wiser than the other. So, knowledge acquired by one should be put into practice, distributed to one, and gradually to all, to the uplift of the society. The method, namely, teach one, should be implemented in this regard. Thank you.